So I'm a board certified urologist. I'm in practice in Northern California. I went to Brown University for undergraduate, and then I worked at American Red Cross for Harold Merriman, the guy who figured out how to freeze blood. And we were freezing kidneys for transplantation. Then I went off to Vanderbilt for medical school. During medical school, I did a year of research sponsored by the Howard Hughes Medical Institute at Harvard Medical School, where I worked with the group that did the first living related kidney transplant and won the Nobel Prize for that. Then I went back to medical school. Then I went off to UCLA. At UCLA, I trained in surgery and then in urology. And after finishing residency, I went off to Northern California into private practice, where I pioneered surgical robotics, built a kidney stone center, pioneered MRI guided prostate biopsy. And then about 3 years ago, I became really interested in regenerative urology. So the ability to help men get erections at an age or a time in their life when they were no longer able to do that. And you need nitric oxide to open up blood vessels. And so I'll put all my patients on a firm 1 or 2 tablets, depending on their age, twice a day.
Can you go into that more? I love nitric oxide. So can you explain to the listeners, especially men, why they need to?
Yeah, I mean, nitric oxide really is, it's amazing. I had a patient the other day, right? And he's the CEO of a big tech company, and he was being seen by his Stanford cardiologist, and the cardiologist wanted to put him on blood pressure medication. Blood pressure medications are great for folks that need them, but they have really, really bad side effects. So if you don't need to be on a blood pressure medication, you should avoid being on a blood pressure medication at all costs. And so I looked at him and did my whole evaluation, looked at his labs and all that kind of stuff. And I said, listen, you just need to be on a nitric oxide booster. Let me put you on 2 tablets of a firm twice a day. And he's like, sure, anything. I don't want to be on a blood pressure medication. Because I explained to him how blood pressure medications cause erectile dysfunction or make erectile function worse. And he came back, he's like a techie. So he's got like all these little gizmos and body monitoring and all that kind of stuff. And
All
his
the
blood
wearables.
pressure was, all the wearables. But, he was tracking on his iPhone and everything. His blood pressure was like 145/95 for like a week or two. And then I got him on a firm, and you could see the blood pressure slowly march down from the red zone to the yellow zone to, he was 118/70,
Amazing.
consistently. And, maybe he had less stress in his life or something. But the thing is, when I was at UCLA, one of my professors, Lou Ignarro, won the Nobel Prize for discovering nitric oxide as a second messenger. And another friend of mine wrote the paper that described the mechanism of action of Viagra, which works on a PDE5 enzyme, which breaks down something called cyclic GMP, which is what nitric oxide produces, right? So nitric oxide and PDE5 inhibitors work on opposite sides of this one molecule called cyclic GMP, which is why I got into producing a nitric oxide booster, because it boosts the efficacy of a PDE5 inhibitor.
So it helps with erections.
Exactly.
For those who aren't following science.
If you want to just go straight right to it, it gives you better boners.
Which a lot of people want and need.
Yeah, which a lot of people care
big
about.
complaint.
But the other thing is, the beauty of something like Viagra and Cialis is it's specific to the genitalia. The beauty of a nitric oxide booster like a firm is that it helps with cognition, helps with short-term memory. It helps bring down blood pressure. It helps athletic performance. So a lot of bodybuilders and elite endurance athletes will take nitric oxide boosters to improve circulation. And the amazing thing is it really doesn't have any drug interactions or side effects.
Yeah, which is wonderful.
We hope you liked today's podcast clip. And if you want to learn more, check out the Root Cause Medicine podcast on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts.